Like the
Well,
bond they
it
share.
sounds like everyone's learning from their past and using it to create a better future for everyone.
What about you, Shionne? How do you feel about the origin of the Renans?
To be honest, I'm not really all that shocked, actually. I mean, I might be a Renan in the literal sense, but I've never really felt like one of them. Right now, it's kind of a mystery.
How do you mean?
Because for a really, really long time, all I ever thought about was how I was going to die. Not if or when, but how.
Yikes.
I thought I'd die alone. That fate had me in its steely grip. I would have never imagined that I'd be traveling with someone like you, fighting to save Rena and Dana. I mean, how could I have? It's been going on for 300 years. All this tragedy and destruction. When you consider the Helganquil's part in all this, it's been even longer than that. It was Naori's hope that somehow, someone in the future would be able to stop it, before it was too late. How it fell on us, of all people, to heed that call, is a mystery.
I don't think Naori was hoping that we would just stop the world from getting destroyed. She considered me, a Danan, as a real person. And she very much cherished her own people, too. I don't think she wanted the world to be saved, just so they could go back to hurting each other. Oh, maybe this is what she meant.
Huh?
When we were talking to Kisara earlier, about all that stuff like everyone's needing to meet halfway and embrace each other's pain and suffering. She said that the first step down that path was for each of us to put aside our own hatred. That means forgiving other people, even and especially before they forgive you.
Forgiving. So it goes both ways, right?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I don't just mean forgiving things that happened in the past either. Conflicts will keep happening. If we have any hope of moving on and building a better future, we have to all learn to forgive each other.
You know, you're right. People can hurt one another without even meaning to. I know that better than most, thanks to these thorns.
It's not going to be easy getting past this
Remember,
pain.
you can't hurt people.
But if we can do it, I'm sure there'll come a time when we can all truly understand each other. I'm there with you, Shionne. I too want to protect the world we live in, and all the people we care about. I think that's the very least I can do to repay Naori for everything that she did.
Yeah. I want a future that she would feel proud to live in, and I'm going to fight for it.
Whoa there, Savior Girl. We're here to save you too, you know.
Yes, I know. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten. I want to live, and that's the honest truth.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
Well, is everybody ready to do what needs to be done?
I am. There's a lot to think about, but at the end of the day, Dana's still in danger. I don't care who we're up against. We'll kick their ass.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, Alphen? I want to know what's on your mind, too.
You need a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You know how it is.
Like Law said, if we have to fight the Great Spirit on Rena, then so be it. It's trying to rob us of our entire world. And it's going to take not just our home, but all of existence along with it. That alone is enough to make it our enemy. But it's not only that. One way or another, I think beating the Great Spirit is going to be tied to us saving Shionne.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's like the leader of a dark
You're saying there's a chance?
astral energy, and like thorns are like the embodiment of dark
You're
astral
referring
energy.
to the
So
vision of destruction we all saw in Lenegus, I take it?
makes
Yeah.
sense.
3 centuries ago, the astral energy that appeared at the spirit channeling ceremony showed Naori that vision. And to hear Shionne tell it, it's the same one that she sees from her own thorns as well.
Indeed. Shionne's thorns are comprised of dark astral energy, the one type which we know is native only to Rena. And if Rena's great spirit is what's behind Dana's pending destruction, then...
Shionne's thorns are the Great Spirit? It's not actually on Rena like we thought?
We don't know anything for certain. At the very least, though, I think it's possible her thorns are a part of the Great Spirit.
While the main body resides in Rena.
Shionne.
Sounds to me like we're gonna go,
If these thorns really are a part of Rena's Great
go
Spirit,
get a weed whacker.
I'm going to go over there and give it a piece
Go to
of my
Rena
mind
and just
then
start
some.
hacking on the thorns. Start cutting them all down.
The question is, how do we confront it?
Throw some
Suffice
acid
it to
on it or
say,
something. I don't know.
that flower growing out of Rena is enormous, large enough to house the will of an entire planet. The Wedge and Lenegis were both hard enough for us to overcome in their own right.
He
This
worked.
is an altogether
The
greater
Wedge was
challenge for merely 6.
Easy mode.
And we only know about the Thorn's
It
connection
was
thanks to
Lenegis.
Maori.
I didn't struggle with Lenegis at all.
Hevrekt 35 has been observing the great astral spirit this whole time. It wouldn't ask us to fight it unless it has a plan of some sort. Let's go see what that is.
We did say to return when we're done talking to the others, so kinda makes sense.
Our minds are made up. Let's go give Hevrekt 35 our answer.
So if the Sovereign and Maiden were originally boot-up programs for Lenegis, what about now?
Even with the Forbidden Zone in ruins and the Renaissance stolen, Lenegis is functioning fine. If it needed us before, it doesn't appear to now.
First they lumber you with a position you never asked for, then you're discarded like you're nothing? Who the hell do they think they are?
More
Aliens,
importantly, who do they think
higher
we are?
beings.
We might not even factor into their list of concerns.
I just hope everyone on Lenegis is safe.
Worst comes to worst, Lenegis is equipped with a large number of starships the people can escape in. As long as the whole satellite doesn't suddenly explode or something, they should be fine.
Wait, explode?
In any case, if we're truly going to make a difference, it's on Rena we're needed, not Lenegis. The people there will be fine, I'm sure of it.
Right.
Alright, bud.
Do you have your answer for me?
We want to ask something first. You're asking us to fight an entire planet. How exactly do you expect us to do that? You must have something up your sleeve, or else you wouldn't put us up to it.
The great astral spirit is an immense being, but its actual will does not run throughout its entire body. Rather, its will is derived from the core, which supports the rest of the body, and is where its strength is most densely concentrated. Therefore, if you destroy the core, the Great Spirit shall become unable to maintain sentience and return to being ordinary astral energy.
And how are we supposed to destroy that core?
Hit it.
By using the
Till
Renaissance
it brews. Oh.
You will also need the assistance of both the Sovereign and the Maiden. They are our best tools for suppressing and controlling astral energy.
That makes sense.
Using their powers, the Maiden shall seal the great astral spirit within her body, and the Sovereign shall wield the power of the Renis Alma to destroy it.
Hold on. That sounds a lot like what Shionne described before.
Yeah, killing herself to take out the Thorns with her.
She was actually right all along.
By
Sounds like
my
Shionne's taking the
calculations,
fattest L
your
ever.
powers combined should be sufficient to destroy the great astral spirit and disperse its energy widely enough to make it difficult to reform.
What will happen to the Maiden once we manage to beat the great astral spirit?
Any matter contained within the field of destruction shall be erased.
Ooh.
So it really will kill me.
This method is the most simple one available to destroy the Great Spirit, and is therefore our most reliable option.
What are our other options?
There is little reason to consider alternative courses of action when the most optimal among them is so clear.
You don't get it. I promised Shionne that she wouldn't die. That we'd save the world without needing to sacrifice her.
Let's get another one.
We didn't fight
Can I
this
grab
whole
a
time
kid?
just to give
Kill
up
a
on her at
kid.
the very end. If there's any other way to take out the Great
Sorry.
Spirit, I want to hear it.
This plan shall lead to the fewest losses in preserving your world. Abandoning it is irrational.
That's...
It is vital that you proceed with this plan. A part of Rena's great astral spirit already resides within her. 300 years ago, the Great Spirit descended upon Lenegis in an attempt to assume direct control of the spirit channeling ceremony. We have reason to believe the Great Spirit left part of itself behind, and that it now resides in the Maiden.
Makes sense.
Which would make Alphen's earlier hypothesis correct.
That part inside the Maiden belongs to the core, and can be used by the great astral spirit to revive itself. So long as it remains, it will be all but impossible to fully eradicate the Great Spirit. That is why it is necessary for it to be vanquished only once it is whole. Without the Maiden's direct control over the Great Spirit, attacking it is futile, and will only serve to strengthen it.
No.
Wait. Naori said that the Renis Alma can suppress the self-realization of astral energy, and that the thorns could be neutralized by placing them in it. If so, can't the same also be done to the Great Spirit, seeing as the thorns are simply part of it?
You need one big Renaissance.
Well, can it?
It is true that the Renis Alma is capable of what you suggest, and could contain the great astral spirit.
Yes!
However, doing so requires fine control on the level of the spirit channeling ceremony, considering that the Renis Alma was previously lost when that ceremony failed. I cannot allow it. Its uncertainty is simply too great.
What does that mean for us if you won't allow it?
Your starship will not be restored, and you will all be unable to leave here.
Why you?
Fine then. I'd rather stay here and rot than do it your way.
Why don't you just say yes and
Whatever
then
we
just don't do
if we
it?
mess up, Dana's screwed. The Great Spirit will destroy it. If you're fine letting that happen, and we have nothing to gain either way, then I'd rather do nothing. We want to stop Dana from getting destroyed. We want to save it. But not if it means having to sacrifice one of us in the process. If all you're gonna do is sit back and watch us where it's safe, then quit ordering us around and shut up!
Alphen.
Oh,
What
sounds
you
like
say
you should
is
have.
irrational. Be that as it may, I shall accede to your demand.
You'll agree?
I am an observer. The Sovereign, Maiden, and Renis Alma are my species' greatest achievement. I wish to see how well they work against the Great Spirit in light of our demise by its hands.
But what are we supposed to do about the Renis Alma? One of your buddies ran off with it back on Lenegis.
Get it back.
It is likely that the Renis Alma is with the Great Spirit, functioning as a catalyst for it to receive Dana's astral energy.
So our only option to retrieve it is to head straight for the Great Spirit and take it back?
According to my observations, the astral energy is most densely concentrated in the center of Rena, where the Great Spirit's core is located.
Oh, so they're just right beside each other. That makes that a lot
So
easier
right
for
in the
us.
middle of that giant flower then.
I have one more question. You've said that Rena's great astral spirit is already integrated with the planet. What will happen to Rena once it vanishes?
Probably explodes or something, I don't know.
Without the will of the Great Spirit, Rena is predicted to collapse. Even in such a scenario, the energy will disperse, and the Great Spirit will likely not reform.
So you're saying that even if we manage to beat the Great Spirit without destroying it, we'll still be in danger?
Likely, the collapse will occur in stages. It is recommended that you all escape before the final stage.
Man, I wish that thing would tell it to us straight for once.
Hevrekt 35 and the others have gotten used to hypothesizing from afar is all. Fix our starship. We're
Fix
going
our
to Rena.
starship. We're heading out. We're
Excellent.
gonna go kick ass.
But I
It's
want to
gonna be
make one
awesome.
thing clear. We're doing this for ourselves, to protect what matters to us. We're not doing it for your sake, or because you told us to.
Why you gotta be
Remember
so
that.
mean to Hevrekt, bro? Hevrekt is cool.
It matters little to me. The end result shall be the same.
I like Hevrekt. I want his
Repair
skin
work
as
on
an
your
armor
starship
set.
has commenced.
That'd
You'll
be
have to
cool.
wait until it's finished.
Oh, there's an
Man.
achievement.
Is it too much to ask for Hevrekt 35 to talk like a normal person? I swear I can feel my brain starting to fry after listening to all that complicated stuff.
Don't worry. I think we're mostly done with him. Now all we have to do is rest up and wait. Once the Fall Knights is good to go again, we'll be taking off for Rena right away. Is the Renis Alma really our only hope against the Great
Okay, hear me
Spirit?
out. Hear me
There
out.
has to be another way, right?
So he's somebody who didn't like
Shionne's
our
Fire Master
plan.
Core was able to suppress
because,
astral energy to prevent it from gaining sentience,
It
right? Couldn't we make use of
it
that
failed.
somehow?
He doesn't want
I'm
that to
not
happen
sure.
again.
In small doses, maybe. And with the amount of energy we're
But
talking
it didn't
about here.
fail because something
Back
went
in
wrong.
Calabria,
It failed
the Blazing
because
Sword
they
was able to
already
take in a whole spirit
actively
vessel's
pulled
worth of
out.
energy. If it has the capacity
So,
to manage that, it can do this,
Technically,
right?
you really can't
Except
say that
after
it
it
won't
absorbed the
work
energy,
because you
it
don't
ended
know
up
if
releasing it
all
all
things go
moments later,
correctly that it
remember?
won't work.
Let's not forget, it nearly
So,
killed you. Besides, this is the
think
great
it'll be
spirit we're
fine.
talking about, not a paltry vessel. Even if I could use the Master Core, your body wouldn't be able to take the strain of channeling that much energy.
Hevrekt 35 didn't mention it, and it did not seem the type to skimp on details. So assuming it's even possible, the chances are slim to none.
You're probably right.
Oh, hello there, miss. Take some time to completely repair your ship. Rest. Sure, let's rest. I like the sound of that.